This is Friday Night Hoops with Orlando Sanchez, sponsored by Carl's Jr.
What is good, everyone? My name is Orlando, and this is Friday Night Hoops. We start with an awesome matchup in the PIL. 10-2 Grant, ranked 10th in the coaches poll, visiting 9-2 Roosevelt, ranked 3rd. This is your game of the week. And this was big-time Oregon basketball, two legitimate contenders. This game lived up to the hype. Straight to the top floor, Donatello Topper looking out below. Generals on the run, Andre Lawrence, throw it down, young fella. This was a battle. Remember the name Terrence Hill? Roosevelt super sophomore is a bucket. Filthy with the Euro. And he can beat you from distance. He finished with 32 points. That put the Riders up by 9 in the fourth quarter. That's when Grant went into rally mode. Adrian Mosley went off. He was everywhere, leading the Generals with 30 points, and the visitors storm all the way back. So let's go to the finish. Game tied at 69, and with 2 seconds left, Marcus McKinney finds Max von Arx. Game winner. Grant defeats Roosevelt 71-69. Round one goes to the Generals. They'll run it back next month at Grant. More PIL, 7th-ranked Cleveland hosting Franklin Warriors big man Jackson Cooper. Coast to coast. Franklin trying to stay in the game. Oliha Loyuk with the follow, one of the bright spots for the Lightning. But Cleveland had too much. Sean, Chris, Tress, Bant with a nifty move. You get 3 for the mid-range J. Cleveland rolls over Franklin 62-27. We stay downtown. Lincoln hosting Benson. Coach Sealy Roberts leading the break. Maroney Sealy Roberts saying, "I got this, Mom." Puts 2 on the board. He was the leading scorer with 23 points. Benson hanging around. Dylan D showing out on Friday Night Hoops. He led the way with 28 points, but the night belonged to the Cardinals. That's Graham Eichenberry going to work in the paint. Lincoln wins it 65-58. They're 12-4 on the season. The 9th-ranked Wells Guardians, 10-4 so far, hosting McDaniel. Ava Arias is a player, but Wells had a huge halftime lead and kept it rolling. Daphne Reed, 3 from straight away for the Guardians. Then, let's have some nice ball movement. Autumn Hart to Mia Fowler. Teamwork making the dream work. Wells cruises to victory, 47-24. Up in Washington, another top 10 matchup. Camas, number 7 in the 4A rankings, visiting Kelso, who's number 10 in 3A ball. Mad props to the band. I mean, I struggled with the triangle. Come on now. Kenzie Milligan playing the right tune early, gets 2 off the inbounds. Camas gets going with some ball movement. Sharing is caring. 3 papermakers touch it before Riley Sands gets right under it for the hoop and harm. Kelso answers. Lexi Grimoire, clean 3. But Camas starts pulling away in this one. Ava Smith weaving through the crowd for 2. And then the Papermaker defense just locks it down. That was the story of the night. Turnovers into points. Camas uses a stingy defense to get a 78-48 win on the road. We head over to the Cowlitz River to Longview. Mark Morris hosting the Columbia River Rapids. Coach David Long in his 30th and final season coaching the Rapids. Nothing but respect for that. Here's a candidate for play of the night right there. That's Kobe Parlin, double tapping the B button like a video game. 19 points on the day. Marley Peterson answers with authority. 3 points the strong way. Monarchs were often in the right place at the right time. That's Jacob Hammond. Mark Morris gets its 10th win of the year. 64-29, your final. We got more Friday Night Hoops. It's a big matchup in the 5A ranks. 10th-ranked LaSalle heading across Milwaukee to take on the Milwaukee Mustangs. The Milwaukee court, gorgeous. You got to see it in person, though. But this might be prettier. Mia Scoro, Emma Buchanan, back to Scoro. Oh, the give and go to perfection. Mustangs on the other end, Brooklyn Irwin. You can't give her space like that. It's game over. She makes LaSalle pay, but Mia Scora was on fire, somehow gets left all alone, and bang! LaSalle scores a 58-34 win on the road. Let's head to the foothills of Mount Hood. Sandy Pioneers hosting Gresham in Mount Hood Conference play. Pioneers looking to pull off the upset at home, but the Gopher defense having none of that. Asaya Pippa-White, the steal, leading the break. Scotty Riddle finishing things off. Gresham up early, but here comes Sandy. Joseph Wagner showing off that range. Go ahead, rig him up. Pippa-White, he can also hit from distance. Drains this one from government camp. Gresham takes care of business. 79-59, your final. To the Pacific Conference we go. The Sherwood Bowmen have the early lead in a tight race, visiting Century, who's only 2 games back. The Jaguars getting fired up for the battle with the Bowmen. Century on the board first. Andre Hine on the post. Nice work to get the bucket. Sherwood forged a lead early. And let's check in with Matthew Burkamp, the steal, and he's going all the way for the score. But the night was the Jaguars who came through. Point guard Elijah Garcia, go ahead, man, do your thing. Century squeezes out a 68-65 win over Sherwood. In the association, the Portland Trail Blazers visiting the Boston Celtics. It's stop number 5 on this 6-game road trip. Jefferson High School alum Ime Udoka, head coach of the Celtics. And CJ McCollum, he was feeling it, serving buckets early and often. He dropped 24 points. Portland jumped out to a 15-point lead. But as we all know, no lead is safe in the NBA. Boston answers. The pride of Westland, Peyton Pritchard, scored 6 points, including that 3 right there. Well, Jason Tatum nearly messed around and had a triple-double. Portland was down 11 midway through the fourth quarter, but they flipped the script, shutting Boston down, closing the game, outscoring the Celtics 20-5. Oh, and it was the big fella who shined. Yusuf Nurkic, the star of the show, coming through with the go-ahead putback here. Just a monster night, 29 points, 17 boards, 6 assists. Blazers win 109-105. They've won 5 of their last 7. They're 19-26 on the season. They remain in 10th place in the West. The Oregon Ducks put themselves back into the national conversation with 2 straight wins against top 10 teams, taking that heat up north to visit some rivals. Washington Huskies put up a fight. Lauren Schwartz, nice finish, the layup. UW had a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter. Say what? For the very next play, India Rogers just money from 3. The freshman had 23 points in 38 minutes of work, and the Ducks put the Huskies away down the stretch. 68-61 is the final. Oregon gets its 9th straight win over Washington.